So in a video where I talk about how this Jesus character show ethnic bias, these are a couple of the responses that I had. The first one, but she still receives her miracle because of her response of faith. Jesus honored what she said. The other person, you're just deceiving your own self. Jesus also called people snakes. He was always referencing their spiritual state. Yes, healing is the bread of the children, and she is not one of his, not because of her race, but because she was not a believer in God. Keep hold of that idea of him saying not a believer in God. She also wanted healing from him, but he gave it to her anyway. This is why even unbelievers can pray for the receiving of healing. So let's talk about the actual verse, the actual part in question, which is Matthew 15:21 through 28. This is the story of the Canaanite woman who had came to Jesus. So it wasn't so much that she wasn't an unbeliever, but she was a Canaanite woman. And we know how the Bible feels about Canaanites. The Bible literally hates the Canaanites. All throughout the Bible, there's nothing but hatred for the Canaanites. But let's just read it and see if these people's thought process is actually correct, because she received the healing anyway, and he gave it to her anyway. And that, but we're going to get to that. He said, leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him, crying out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is possessed with demons and suffering terribly." Jesus did not answer a word, ignored the hell out of her. So his disciples came to him and urged him, "Send her away, for she keeps calling out after us." So even the disciples like, "Get that Canaanite woman away from us. Calling our name. Hell, you don't know me like that. Get your name out my mouth." Then he answered, meaning Jesus, "I was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel." Now, right there, Jesus just said that he is only here for the lost sheep of Israel. Yet, y'all accept what Paul talks about as far as Jesus being sent for everybody else, because in the Great Commission, it was to teach the Jews and then the Gentiles. But isn't that a contradiction when Jesus right here said, "I was only sent for the lost sheep of Israel"? But let's continue. The woman came and knelt before him. "Lord, help me," she said. He replied, "Is it not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs?" Yes, your Bible, Jesus calls the woman a dog. A dog. Woof, woof. A dog. This is what Jesus calls it. They taking the children's bread and giving it to the dogs? Oh, Lord have mercy. This cannot be true. So no, you cannot toss it to the dogs. This is what Jesus' reply was to this woman who was asking for his help. Now she said, "Yes, it is, Lord." She agreed with him. "Yeah, you're right. You right. You right. You here for you. We the Canaanites, y'all the Israelites. You came for the Israelites," because those people were henotheistic, believing that everybody's God existed and you have your own God, your own deity to do your own thing. But of course, this story is written as propaganda by the Romans through the Hellenistic Jews. So she said, "Yes, of course, you're right. You're right. You're right," she said. But then she says, "Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus said to her, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed at that moment. Well, you know what that sounds like to me. And here's the thing. At least one of the persons who responded to me, I did respond to them in the comment when they were saying that, well, at least she got her healing. Well, you can get on the bus, but you got to get on the back of the bus. You can eat at the restaurant, but you got to come in through the back door. You can get some medicine, but you're going to get the lowest level of treatment we can possibly give you. You can have this job, but you got to work down in the mailroom, and you can never be more than a janitor or something of that nature. You can partake in the crumbs like a dog, which is the same thing that has been perpetuated through history, and it's exemplified in this book by this Jesus character saying, "Hey, I'm only for my ethnic group." And that's what it really is. It's not racial. It's more of the ethnic cleansing, the ethnic group. I'm really here for my ethnic group. But as a dog, you can have the crumbs that spill off the table from what I give to my ethnic group. Hey, all you people of color in America, you can have the crumbs of whatever comes from the greater Caucasian nation of America. Let me give you an example of that. The FDR came out with his New Deal, and he said he promised every American the ability to buy a house. So he set forth programs that would support the loans for every American to be able to buy a house. And then he drew red lines around people of color's communities to say that except for those people, and maybe a couple few of them be able to buy a house in the non-red zone areas, but for the most part, nah, they can only get the crumbs of a few houses here and there. But we're going to set up the wealth process of every Caucasian American to be able to buy a house so you can have the crumb. So basically, I'm supposed to be thankful for the crumbs that I was able to get from a system that wasn't set up for me. So this woman should be thankful because your early church fathers, Jerome and all of them, writes that the woman showed so much great faith and she was so thankful that she got the crumbs from the so-called dominant society of the Israelites of this time frame. You see how that mentality in this religion perpetuates division and separation amongst people, how it continues to perpetuate the dehumanizing of people. He called the lady a dog. That's your Jesus, calling this woman a dog. There's no way around it. You can try to justify it, and in your cognitive dissonance, you will try to justify it. But at the end of the day, he called her a dog, said he was only here for the lost children of the Israelites. That means he is not here for anybody else, but just them. That's why the Hebrew Israelites say that the Bible is only for them, because they claim to be the lost children of Israel. I'm not one of them, so it's not for me. Hence, I don't believe in this book at all. Plus, that's some evil ass shit, some inhumane shit. That is not the mindset of a good God. This is also a demonstration of why I say even this Jesus did not have Christ consciousness. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself. From this bullshit, especially because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.